Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at Even Paladin. Yeah, that's right, Even Paladin is back. Over the past, let's say week and a half, a lot of players have been playing Even Paladin. This particular list that I was playing recently is Salty's list that he played in High Legend, but there are also other players such as Hypno and Ball Control who have all played Even Paladin with only slight variations in the decks. When you really think about it, it's actually pretty surprising that Even Paladin has experienced this resurgence right now, because Hypno, for example, has been playing Even Paladin for months, and his lists have not been very much different than what this list is right here. I think the main card that is part of the current list that has not been there all the time is the Windfury Harpy. Windfury Harpy is in this build in order to give Windfury to Corpse Taker, and it's also a potential buff target itself. Actually, surprisingly often there are positions where you can have Valanir buff on Windfury Harpy, or you can use Blessing of Kings on the Harpy, so it's also a potent threat on its own right. But the fact that it buffs the Corpse Taker, so there's the full suit of Corpse Taker buffs in this deck. There is the Taunt, there is Divine Shield, there is Lifesteal, and there is Windfury. Although, consistency-wise, it's not all there, because there's just one source of Windfury, which is the Windfury Harpy, and there's only one source of Lifesteal, which is the Crystalsmith Kangor. Taunt and Divine Shield are slightly better, although Divine Shield is also relying on only two sources in this build, the Crystalsmith and the Glass Knight. Even Paladin it's pretty much the epitome of a mid-range deck. When you're facing control decks, you're trying to be very aggressive. So, for example, if you're facing something like a Druid, you want to get that Amani Berserker, you want to get that Corpse Taker, you want to have a Blessing of Kings, so that you can push early damage, and you can do so with minions that Druid will find very difficult to remove, unless they happen to have exactly Naturalize. Then again, when you're facing something aggressive, you're trying to defend, you have the Pyromancer Equality clear here, that old Control Paladin staple, but it's also available for this deck. And then Corpse Takers can also be used defensively, Sarana Chain Gangs can be used defensively. Many aggressive decks have got Silence. Oddrogue, for example, is rare running Silence these days, so if you manage to get the Spikerid Steed turn, getting that double Taunt on the way is very effective defense. The deck is really based on curving out. Your hero power costs 1 and it creates a 1/1 for you, so that's very nice to use with, for example, the Spikerid Steed, or with Blessing of Kings. You will have cheap targets for your buffs. And you try to get your 2-drop, you try to hit your 4-drop, simply curve out and apply pressure. In some matchups you need to think about whether you actually want to hero power or not. You may want to play around Spreading Plague against Druid, for example. You may want to play around Brawl against Warrior. So if you have a couple of decent sized minions on the board, then getting that extra 1/1 can actually punish you. You also want to play around Mind Control Tech in some matchups, so if you already have 3 minions on the board, getting that 4th, which is a 1/1, can also punish you. So whether you want to use that hero power or not is actually something that you have to think about a little. In other cases, of course, having that 1/1 token on the board, then slamming a dino size on it from 1/1 to 10/10, that's a huge buff, so that will then allow you to be very, very aggressive. There are several board clears available to this deck. The classic is of course the Pyromancer Equality. But you can also, if you have enough mana, you can do Equality first, then play Pyromancer, and then play some other spell, let's say Blessing of Kings on the Pyromancer, which will leave the Pyromancer alive and kill the other stuff. Or you can even Blessing of Kings an existing minion that you have that was just put down to 1 health with the Equality so that it will survive, but the opponent's minions will not. Pyromancer can also be combined together with Consecration to deal 3 damage to all the opponent's minions, and there's also a Mossy Horror, so there are a fair bit of ways to control the board with this deck. It's still nowhere near being a control deck, rather these are these mid-range deck tools for a bit of a slower mid-range deck that is also able to take on the control role in some cases. But these tools can also be used very offensively, to clear the opponent's minions and then allowing you to push even more. Another interesting card in this build is Valanir, because Valanir gives this buff to a minion in your hand. So often, especially if you're playing in a matchup where the opponent may have silence, you're trying to get a suitable set of minions in hand, especially the Saronite Chain Gang. Because if the Valanir buff lands on the Chain Gang, then you will actually have 2 minions with the Valanir buff on the board, and then the Valanir buff cannot be got rid of anymore with simple silence. Obviously, Priest is still able to deal with that very easily with Psychic Scream, so you have to be wary with your buffs when you're playing against Priest and they are going to hit that 7 mana. But other than that, there's some very strong things that you can do with Valanir. There are currently a few variants of this deck around. Some of them, for example, don't use the Glass Knight. The Glass Knight can be a lot of value, but it can also be a little bit slow and it doesn't really help you defend that often. So some people, for example, are playing Dread Corsair instead. Dread Corsair, Drusilla Champion, the old UK Paladin classic move. Play Drusilla Champion, play a free Dread Corsair. That's a very powerful move that you can do in the early game. That can boost your offense, but it can also help you defend a lot because of the taunt. Another card that doesn't see play in all versions is Dino Size. Some people are playing Bone Mare instead of Dino Size, for example. Bone Mare gives you 2 minions, it gives taunt to the buffed minion, but it doesn't have quite as much immediate reach as Dino Size has, so a little bit of different takes that you can take with this deck. Another card that sometimes sees play in this deck is Argent Commander. Argent Commander gives the deck some reach because there are no charge minions otherwise, so you don't really have a lot of reach. But Argent Commander can give you reach, it can get a Valanir buff, it can be blessed, for example, lots of ways that then it can go face. And it also gives 1 more Divine Shield minion to buff up Corpse Taker, which can be especially useful if you cut the Glass Knight. So this deck is really not solved yet. There are multiple approaches you can take, and there are a bunch of cards here that you can switch around. But overall, the main archetype of Even Paladin that seems to be useful right now is this type of slow mid-range deck. It's not a control deck, and it's not one of those really fast Even Paladins either, which have not been seen for a while, granted. As always, I've prepared a bunch of gameplay material of this deck for you, so let's go check out Even Paladin in action. Why he thinks that Hex nerf is good? Because I've never heard anyone say that Hex nerf was useful. But let's see. Then we're up against the Node Warrior. But yeah, those nerfs really, they do make you think, don't they? Although, what do you think Blizzard are doing with these nerfs? Well, they are trying to make minimal changes that would somehow affect the metagame. We'll see how it turns out. I mean, obviously removing Giggling Inventor from the meta will mean that people don't take in Blood Knight anymore, and you might not even take in Mossy Horror anymore. But you might also take in Mossy Horror because Druid might be so common. So we'll have to see about that. So that's going to change some things, because all decks get a couple of new slots, basically. None of these are great in the matchup. Oh well. Don't always get great cards for the matchups. And here comes the Stonehill Defender. Yeah, I knew it. It's always Stonehill Defender. Unfortunately, I don't have the mana. I don't have the mana to push. It's better simply not attack. Yeah, attacking doesn't gain me anything, but I don't want the auto defense matrix yet. Mana worth change is strange though. I mean, obviously Tempo Mage has been putting up some good numbers, but that's mostly because it's the deck that fights against Quest Rogue. So maybe they want to keep Quest Rogue kind of an option. Can Quest Rogue live without Giggling Inventor if Tempo Mage is also nerfed? Maybe that's possible. Would be a bit strange, but who knows. Stonehill into Stonehill. The Stonehill ring. Fine, we grab the Drusilla Champion and then we kill the board. Now he has 2 more taunt minions, so there's going to be taunt minions for days. Days, I tell you. Quite surprised about the early ooze use, though. But I guess it's fine. So let me see. I think I want the Amani. I think I'll trade there. And I'll play the secret. Let's see if this helps any. Obviously, I can still use Super Collider to clean up this board, for example. Oh, that's Zola. So now he can kill Valanir too. Do I mind? Or how much do I mind? Not a whole lot, right? I would want Valanir to hit the chain gang though, because that's the only way I can take it out of silence reach. So I need to still bait. I still need to be baiting some silences here. So we killed the Zola. We hit face with this one. Let's try this approach. He might also play Super Collider, then I can play the Ooze. Oh, that sort of fellow. That's interesting. Does that mean that I have to play the Valanir now? Then it would be 1 in 3 to hit the chain gang. It would be great if I could set up a certain chain gang. If he has 1 silence, and I get to 1, I don't hit the 1 in 3. It's very difficult to have enough value to win. Can't equality this yet. Now that's a problem. I think I need to hit there and just play the knight and hero power here. I'm still trying to bait a silence. If I can bait a silence and then get the Valanir chain gang going, that would be a ticket. I've not yet seen any serious removal. I tried to make a board that makes Super Collider weak. But we'll see how it works out. Interesting shield slam. Oh, that was very interesting. Seems very weak too. Oh boy. So I still want to bait out the silence, right? We're going to dino-size this and punch him in the face. See what he thinks about this move. Hi, Alter Hero. We've seen a shield slam and we've seen a flurry. Oh, that's going to tank nicely. That's going to give him a lot of time. I don't want to do Equality Consecration either. I don't have enough mana to do Valanir Consecration. Oh, this sucks. Getting this down to 6 means that then it's shield slammable and so many ways to deal with it after that. But I suppose I have to. I don't want to give him a brawl board. Should I equip Valanir now though? Nander, do you think Mossy is dead now? It depends on the druid lists. It's still a prime answer to druid. I think I may have to go for the Valanir line here. Although this is still just a 50-50 if he chooses to play the Gluttonous Ooze here. He could play Gluttonous Ooze into Brawl. But I didn't want to give him enough armor right here to answer this. So I didn't want to give him a potential to answer it with a simple shield slam. He can still do it with shield block shield slam, of course. Dino-Medic is one off from answering this. Not enough mana to play Celiax into Dino-Medic yet. He could do that next turn. That would be a lot of powerful removal. Well, that's interesting. That gives him the armor to shield slam. Ouch. Hate it when that happens. Absolutely hate it when that happens. I think I have to play my ooze here. Playing the ooze ensures the hit on the chain gang. But then I will need to get another minion before I can use the chain gang. Or I can try to go for a 50-50 line here. If I win the 50-50, I'm practically winning this game. Is 50% the best chance I have to win the game? I don't feel good about taking 50% bets. I will need to top deck a minion, but there are plenty of minions left in the deck. I think I can do it. I think this is the line I'm taking here. I ensure the Serenite Chain Gang. But now I have no way to remove a Super Collider, of course. So that can kill some Serenite Chain Gangs, but if I can get just those double Valnir buffs rolling, it might be enough. I just need to top deck some minions. He has some more mechs, he has some taunts, he has some micro squads. He has a lot of stuff. At least it wasn't the Dino-Medic Ziliax play. He can still play a Dino-Medic here. It'll be still a very strong card with the rush. He still has both brawls left. I have to top deck a minion before I can play the Chain Gang. Otherwise I will lose the double Valnir buffs. Oh, that's pretty solid. Discover a mech. Well, I did find a minion at least. But he still has the brawls. I'm blessing this one. And playing the Serenite. Does it matter which side I play it on? No, it does not. I don't want to make a 1-1 for brawl purposes. Let's try this. You think Blood Knight will go away now too? Yeah, Blood Knight is definitely gone. No one will play Blood Knight anymore. Blood Knight is gone and Giggling is gone once the nerfs go live. But Mossy might still be part of the meta. It depends on the druid. I'm trying to push here, but Warrior has tons and tons of resources. Especially all these rush mechs. He's unlikely to have 2 copies of Silence in hand, even though that would also be possible. Like, Owl. That would be nuts. Here comes the brawl. Okay. Does he have an answer to the 610? What? What deck is he even playing? This is crazy. I don't think I can play the Mossy on this though. I need another minion in hand to keep recycling the Valnir buffs. Just play the Valnir buffed minion. And keep minion in hand, so that I can keep recycling the Valnir buffs. Oh! Well, that was annoying. That was definitely annoying. So now he gets the Valnir buff. Interesting. Do I need to kill the Pyromancer and give him the Valnir? It takes him a while to activate it though. I think it will be okay. I need to play my Mossy now. I think I need to give him the Valnir. And this one is going face. Okay. Then we'll see what's next. He could play Super Collider to replace the Valanir. And then if he gets the Valanir buff on a mech, he can rush with that mech. But he could have done that anyway. Even if I didn't give him the Valanir here. And now that I gave him the Valanir here, that means that it's still a bit more difficult decision for him to actually hit anything here. But replacing this weapon to use the Death Rattle and get a rushing mech would be a pretty sweet thing. Four damage to a random minion. And Zoolock to go. This one doesn't die. I still don't have it with Equality Consecration though. Not quite. And if I play Equality Consecration, then this will just die. So I think I have to kill the Kaboom bot. Do I then have to play everything on the board? Oh, this is a tricky position. There's also a chance that I die if he has something big to magnetize on these. And dying obviously is pretty annoying. If I hit here, he goes to 22. But if I Equality Consecrate, I might just have to hit there. But now there's a chance that I die. If he gets a good mech going, magnetized mech, and he can win the game right now. That's definitely an option, but I didn't think I had a way to play around that. I was hoping for the Valanir to hit the Chain Gang, because then I would have big taunts on the way, but I lost that 50-50 roll. This is why I don't take 50-50 rolls very lightly, because I find that I lose a lot of 50-50 rolls. Now he's looking for that lethal, obviously. Because there's two mechs on the board. I had no way to clear the mechs except for using my Consecration. And if he doesn't have that magnetized mech, then I might need that, or doesn't have that immediate damage, then I might need that Equality Consecration to potentially push lethal for next turn. So it's high risk at the moment, but I feel like I just need to do this in order to have a chance to win. And soon we'll find out. Well, I still have a chance to win. Losing that brawl pretty badly though. That obviously hurts. Losing that brawl really, really badly. Maybe I should not have hero powered then. That's a pretty tough call to make though. That was the second brawl, so now there's no downside to hero powering. So let's hero power. See what happens next. I have a lethal setup, but I mean he has a couple of mechs in hand too, so there should always be enough rush mechs to kill at least one of these chain gangs. Corpse Taker still has taunt. So once it gets buffed, I can just play that. But he's getting closer to finding silence too. 4 mana 10-7. It's actually kind of 4 mana 20 something. Super Collider is just lethal. 50% chance for lethal anyway. It wasn't lethal this time. Phew. That was lucky. Ha! He took a 50-50 and he lost. I like it. I like it when they do that. Then it's time to play Equality Consecration. And hit him in the face a lot. So on the left side you can see the deck that I'm playing and all the cards that are there still remaining in the deck. and grayed out the ones that I have drawn, or just the count reduced. And on the other side you can see all the cards that my opponent has played during this game. Of course, you can't see what cards he has in his deck, but you can see everything that he has played. Let's try with this.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
It needs that it reacts to my mouse, I've never seen that before. Oh, they do react on almost practically every stream. It's the Twitch extension. It's the Twitch extension that makes it do that. Druid kept one card, so he has either Wild Growth or Nourish at this point. It's a Wild Growth. Cool. Time to play the Amani. This is so hard to play against Druid. Single big threats can still be killed with Naturalize. Going wide can also be punished a lot. I think what I'm trying to do here is coin the Corpse Taker at this point. Because now with the Wind Fury Harp is still in the deck, Corpse Taker has Wind Fury. And with the Blessing of Kings, I could deal 14 with that Corpse Taker, potentially, if he doesn't kill it now. I suppose he will kill it. It will take at least a little bit of work to do that. And I mean, like, Swipe is pretty awkward at killing it, because then it buffs the Amani. Because you could, like, Hero Power Swipe. He hasn't had any armor gain yet, so Spellstones are unbuffed. Spellstone is 2 damage at the moment. But he can get armor gain and do like double Spellstone. Oh, it's a Taunt Druid. That's interesting. That was interesting. So I can probably get through this next turn. I still have to try to bless here now, so that I can kill that Trog. But I can get this Wind Fury damage to the face, but okay, Taunt Druid is going to be very, very difficult. He probably has an answer to this now. Only 4 cards though, and he just uses Spellstone just to pop the Divine Shield, so maybe he doesn't. It's also possible that he doesn't have it. He didn't, but then there's this card which is probably going to be an Ultimate Infestation, which he can just jam on it next turn. Which feels pretty bad. But maybe it's not an Ultimate Infestation. I mean, I have to try, right? I think I have to try. But I think it's going to be Ultimate Infestation, and from there he stabilizes. Or it's Oak Heart, and he stabilizes. What can you do? Can't help it. Druid doing Druid things. I had a good hand too. It simply was not powerful enough. Well, it's not Ultimate Infestation because he would always kill the Corpse Taker. I unfortunately have no way to heal the Corpse Taker, which means that it's time to play the Tarim now. And hope that he still doesn't have good stuff next turn. I can try to keep pushing here, but I'm running out of time. I don't have Equality, I don't have Consecration. I have nothing that deals with his big boards. He was able to top deck a Swipe. I don't know what these 2 cards are, but apparently there's no Hadronox at least, or anything like that. Oh, the Lich King, but it's too late. I could play Hydrologist and try to find Repentance. That would be 3 mana. Because I have no way to push through another big taunt. Repentance might allow that. But it's like 60% to find Repentance. It's not super great odds. I think I have to try that over playing the Harp though. There's the Repentance. So I can get the Repentance in play. I can get the knight in play. And I can try to push. So now if all he has is one big taunt, I can still keep pushing. Now he found Naturalize. Maybe not Naturalize, he doesn't even need Naturalize. Now it punishes me when he had the Hadronox. I don't think I had a reason to read that he would have Hadronox there. Maybe I should have. I was just trying to play around big taunt. But Hadronox and top deck damage spell seems pretty good. Hadronox resurrects the Gloom Eater, the Golem, and Sleepy Dragon, which will be enough for him to win the game unless I had Equality Consecration, which I don't. So that's probably a Naturalize actually, because he's so hesitant on using it on Hadronox this turn. Yeah, so actually it didn't even matter my secret. My secret didn't matter at all. I obviously cannot push through this. Not without an equality. Haven't seen an equality yet. I mean, I can kill the 1/5. This one can't attack unless he gains some armor. It's not a high priority target. I think I need to mossy away the Gloom Eater. And I need to play the Berserker. And I think I also need to start smacking into that one. The alternative was not to attack with these, and try to trust that I can top deck something great. He can also top deck something great. It goes both ways. And I have not been able to top deck anything great. He is going to get even more dragons, but I can't stop it. I can't find the cards. It has to be the Lich King here. Lich King's the only card that's good enough now. There's no reason for me to attack everything into Primordial Drake. It's unlikely to even be good enough to protect the Lich King. Would protect the Lich King from swipe, and that's it. Ultimate Infestation still kills it just the same. We go with this. Spoon Kingdom. This is not a... This is the standard Even Paladin that is currently played. I don't know what you said when you say that you haven't seen this before, because this is exactly the standard Even Paladin that is currently being played. Like one card different. This is the meta. This is the most meta Even Paladin there is. And I could kill some of this stuff with something like a Dino Size. No way for me to heal. Equality would have been lethal. I couldn't find Equality in top half of my deck. I'm a little bit sad about that. I think I need to get this Dino Size train rolling. Anti-magic shell, but will I have minions? It all depends on his draw. What is the draw? The draw is a damage spell. No, I will not have minions. That was a good draw. That's a good strong draw. I will not have the minion count. That was the best draw. He has been getting the best top deck multiple times in a row now. Oak Heart. Oak Heart, I mean Naturalize for Hadronox into Oak Heart, into Swipe. Multiple times in a row. I need to go for an anti-magic shell, right?
Should I?
And hope that I can find equality. It's Saronite Chain Gang, Hero Power, anti-magic shell. Trade away both of his remaining taunts. Then see what he can top deck. If that's a Witching Hour and he top decks another Naturalize, that's one way for him to win. Is there anything for me with Valanir? No, not really. It's this, and this, and this. And kill the taunts. And now if he gets switching our Naturalize, he wins. But other than that, I should win. Yes. I might try with this hand. Let's see. Actually, I found the path you told me this afternoon. Oh yeah, you were at Weghoo's. You were watching Weghoo's playing Magic. Yeah. I was at 17.9% to the vault myself. Tracking on 1, and he has 2 cards that he kept. I don't like this. But let's see. Secret Hunter A. Interesting. Secret Hunter, really? Well, that could be a Wandering Monster, so I can't attack into that. And now I really have to think about this. I think I need to play Pyromancer on the board. I think I have to do this. Diano. My daughter who plays Hearthstone ranks up asks why hasn't the Cleric been nerfed? Because Priest as a class is not very good. So it's okay for them to have the Cleric. It could be Freezing Trap. So many possibilities. It could be some kind of snakes, Venom Strikes. I have to attack this one here first. See what happens. That would be the Venom Strike. Oh dear, oh dear. So I guess I need to coin the Chain Gang. I can kill this with the Pyromancer. Then he's left with the Leok. But he can do powerful things no matter which way it goes. I still believe this is the way. I need to kill this. It was actually a close call between the Chain Gang and the Glass Knight. I was wondering a little bit which one I should go for. So that's snakes or another Venom Strike. Almost certainly. It can't be freezing. I mean, it could be Explosive Trap. Next turn he can play the... Next turn he can play the Wolves. Am I ready for the Wolves? With Glass Knight I'm as ready as I can be. My father certainly was started playing World of Tanks. Nice. World of Tanks is a fun game. I like that game. I like that game a lot. How do I deal with all of the wolves? One more turn before I could do Pyro Consecration. To really start killing some wolves. I could do Corpse Taker. I think I just need to do the Corpse Taker. Hit one wolf there. Play Corpse Taker. And Hero Power. And chill. I don't think he has Unleash in that deck, right? I think it's unlikely. And there is going to be a Houndmaster, obviously. But I have the Consecration. And Divine Shield is coming back. And this will be a pretty good Consecration board. Do I even need a Consecration on this board, though? I could kill all the bees, too. I think I'll just do Steed. This one kills this beast. This one kills this beast, right? And I'll Steed this and use that to kill the final beast. So I don't leave him with any beasts on the board. So he doesn't get any good kill command synergies or anything. Not yet. That's an interesting line. There could be a freezing trap now. There can be Venom Strike traps. Explosive traps. I think I need to equip the Valanir and hit face. Let's see what happens when I hit face with Valanir. First there's an explosive trap. And then nothing. So it could be freezing, but it can still also be snakes or Venom Strike. So what I want to do is I want to hit this one into the face. I don't want to get this frozen ever. Then I can hero power, and this one is also going face, right? Do I have something to gain from not going face? I don't think I do. I don't think I gain anything from not going face. The only punish is Deathstalker. Right. Maybe there's some other punish. Turns out he had Deathstalker Exar in hand from the beginning of this game. Which is obviously immensely powerful. From the beginning of this game, like every Hunter player ever. Now he has one Deathstalker. I mean, from here he can just win the game. It's completely possible now. Because Deathstalker Exar can grind infinite value. I think I need the Lich King out there. I think I can take the 4 from the Houndmaster too. Or do I just need to push face with everything? That's not a bad alternative. I have the option to make this a 6/6 too. But then I can't develop anything useful alongside it. Let's do it like this. I try to be fast now before he gets those Poisonous Rush Beasts and before he gets those Lifesteal Rush Beasts. He doesn't get them every time he uses the hero power. So this is the time when it's possible that he doesn't have them yet. Let's see. Because this is now all about speed. He's low on cards, so he doesn't necessarily have an answer to the Lich King. Turns out he was able to create that Poisonous Rush Beast that I was slightly concerned about. I'm obviously disappointed by that. That doesn't feel fair or fun in any way. I think I need to ask him the question, can you make another one? Or can you not? Well, it's bad. It's actually the worst possible target, probably the Pyromancer. Because if I have Pyromancer on the board, I can't do Equality. Otherwise the Pyromancer just kills itself. But I still believe that I now need to play the Pyromancer and the Amani Berserker. And then the Blessing of Kings, but on which one? I think on the Amani. And then the hero power. So this gives me 2 major threats that he wants to deal with. And it's only 10% for him to get Silence. Rush has kind of ruined Deathstalker. Yeah, definitely the beast pool is very powerful at the moment. Poisonous Rush. That was from his second try, but his first try was also... He thought about playing that first try as well, so there might be something there. Now, the third beast that he gets to make in this game. What kind of beast is that going to be? So that's the way to kill, alright. Oh, and that can be a freezing trap now. That would be annoying. And it probably is a freezing trap. Can I just go face and ignore the bear shark? Oh dear, oh dear. It probably has to be a freezing trap, right? It could also be a bluff. I think I need to hit face with the Valanier at least. So freezing or snake or venom strike. I don't want to run straight into a freezing trap right here. So I think I'm doing this. And let's see what his answer is. He's bluffing. He could be bluffing. It's possible. I have Consecration Equality still left, so I have some tools here. And I have a Dino Size. Poisonous Taunt. Poisonous Taunt doesn't matter. Unless there's an explosive trap. So if he gets to play another secret now... Let's try this. Last Warlock I played was surprisingly a Zoo. So let's see what kind of Warlock this one is going to be. It's going to be Zoo again. A Zoo that greets me. Never trust a Zoo that greets you. But I do have an anti-Zoo hand, sort of, at least. So let's... Flame Imp into Kelesset. What's there not to like? So I could do Pyromancer and Coin to stem this early aggression. And I believe I need to do that. I still have another Pyromancer left afterwards. Pyromancer and then I Coin Hero Power. So on the board, of course, the Kelesset will have to trade into the Pyromancer, and that will leave me with a 1/1. That may or may not be useful. But he had Flame Imp on 1, Kelesset on 2. Top deck some Void Walkers. That's pretty solid stuff. I don't have a good play for this turn. I think I need to just wait now. Maybe I can do something with the True Silver Champion. Right now, though, it looks like I might have to... Yeah, what do I have to do? If I throw another Pyro already on this board, that's a bit too fast. A bit too soon. I need to start with the Chain Gang. I need to take a hit there. I still have the Pyro Equality. I just need to milk more stuff from him because he's drawing perfectly. And there's also the option that I get to do... Okay. He's really drawing well. So I need to wipe that board. Had Kelesset followed by double Librarian, come on, this is sick. He really wants to finish this. And that is a timely. That's timely Tarim. So we're still in it. And he lost a lot of value with the Doom God. Well, just the Blood Knight and Soul Infusion, so I guess not that much really. If he can pick up another buff for this Librarian, 7 mana next turn. That would be enough to play Hydrologist, Drusil Champion and the Secret, for example. And I think that's exactly what I'm going for here. Hydrologist. Can I get the Matrix, please? No, but I can get a Noble Sacrifice. I'll take a Noble Sacrifice. Drusil Champion, kill this. Tarim kills that. Play Noble Sacrifice. So that unless this is buffed, it would die if it attacks. I'm down to 12, which is of course not a lot of fun. He has another Doom Guard left, he has 2 more Soulfires left. Soulfire could kill Tarim. Well, Doom Guard's not getting through. Can he pull a Soulfire? Nope, no Soulfire. Next plan. Can I take damage from the Doom God? No, I will go down to 8, which means that I will die to double Soulfire. So I have the option to Consecrate. That doesn't do anything really. Then I can do Blessing of Kings. I can do it on the Tarim and use that to kill the Doom God. I can hold on to the weapon for now. So we bless the Tarim. Tarim trades the Doom God. I can afford to go down to 11. Yes, that is acceptable. So I use the weapon to kill that and go face, because Doom Gods are gone now. I want to retain a board, and I want to be above 8 health. Those are the key things here. That obviously is a lot of potential damage. Is there a lethal setup here? He's at 17. I don't think I have a lethal setup. There are some ways for me to die. I don't like that. I actually need to consecrate here. I mean, it's not quite a lethal setup, but it's not that far. Double Soulfire does not kill me now. Double Soulfire in these sims is a total of 14 damage, and there is a total of 15 health on the way. So he needs to have a buff for the imps and a double Soulfire in order to win the game. I think I still have to prepare for Zoo, because now I've been playing a lot of Zoo. I used to play a lot of Even Lock, but now I've been playing a lot of Zoo, so now I mulliganed for Zoo. And it is Zoo. Oh boy, oh boy. This might backfire, but I think I still wanted to do it. They don't always have healing right there. And I need to save the coin for the consecration, so I can get consecration before he can get the big guns out there.
It's time for a little blood.
But that soul infusion is scary. That soul infusion, early soul infusion is really scary. Can he find healing? Just the soul fire. There's the soul infusion card left, which is obviously nasty. Now I have to think through this very carefully. Because I can coin a consecration or I can coin a chain gang. If I coin chain gang, boom, 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 chain gang dies. What if I coin True Silver Champion and I take this damage? 8 damage. I go down to 19. Next turn I can consecrate and use the True Silver Champion to kill something. Because there's the soul infusion. What if there's a Saronite chain gang? I think this is the correct play. I think this is the correct play. That could be a Saronite chain gang. It can be that one too. I'm taking some damage, but I have a board clear. Before he can play a Fungal Mancer too. So I get rid of that board. But can I survive after taking all that damage? Another soul infusion.
In the light's name.
And a light warden. I need to hold on to my weapon here. Get some minions on the board. I have an Avenging Wrath. And now I have a steed. And I have the blessing. So many options. I've seen one Soulfire. I've seen him burn the Leroy. What if I blessing here? Use this to trade here, this to kill there. Hit the Fungal Mancer. I still have another 2 mana left. Is that effective? Avenging Wrath. It's unlikely to get the job done. There should be no more. He could run Doom Guards into the build, but it's unlikely. This has got to be the line. This has got to be the line. I'm still at 10. I've seen the Leroy gone. I've seen the Soulfire gone. He could have Doom Guards in the same build as Leroy. But not many people do that. I use this to trade here. This one hits face. He's at 16. Harpy would be 8 plus 4, 12. Harpy's a lethal setup. I can die. No, there's been no killer set. I cannot die to Doomguard Soulfire. Harpy's a lethal setup. Even if it's not lethal, it just clears stuff. Let's see what we can do. Have Corpse Takers, will travel.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
Druid kept 2 cards. So there should be Wild Growth and Nourish in hand. Right now this is looking good. I would so love to coin some stuff later. But I think I also really want to get the Sculpt Taker out here. The downside is that now if he answers this with Oaken Summons, which I guess is quite likely because he kept 2 cards and neither of them was Wild Growth. Oh, it's actually a Token Druid. Interesting. Can be difficult. I want the Valanir on the Serenite Chain Gang. Just go with another one of these Sculpt Takers now. Yeah, let's squelch you immediately. Elegical was to be expected. Too bad that this turn is a whiff from me. That really sucks. It does suck to whiff like this. Not much I can do. I mean, I could play the Serenite Chain Gang now. That would make his Spreading Plague better. I just think I'm not quite there yet. Let's see. I would need a cheap spell to be able to answer Whispering Woods. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't use the hero power here. But I guess it's fine. Time for me to equip the Valanir. Next turn I can do Minion into Steed, possibly. He just wants to get to a position where he can play Whispering Woods into Soul of the Forest. Possibly. I don't think I take the roll yet. I think I'll just make a Steed here. We can think about the roll a little bit later. So Whispering Woods into Soul of the Forest is a thing. I guess Ultimate Infestation is a thing too. Especially when you code it with some Arcane Tyrants. That is all very sweet. Now I think we take the roll. Actually hit the Chain Gang. That's intriguing. Because now I have a choice between the Chain Gang and the Lich King. I play Lich King, he will play another swipe. Lich King will force another swipe though. And I might get Death and Decay, which would be beautiful against his things. See, lo and behold, there is a Death and Decay. That is a good thing to have. But now comes the Whispering Woods combo. Not yet, goes for the Elegical first. And leaves the Lich King up. An interesting development. He obviously has both Spreading Plagues left. And a lot of other good stuff left. Board where I want to use the Death and Decay. I believe it is. It will leave him with the 1 minion alive. Anything I can do about that? Yes, I could Steed this. That seems like a plan. That means I can't do Pyro Steeds, but that still seems acceptable. So we Death and Decay here. Then the Lich King will kill this Taunt minion. I will play a Steed on this fellow. And it will kill the other Taunt minion. He can still do some kind of swipe play to kill the Lich King. Or, well, he can't really use another ultimate infestation, but some kind of a swipe play is definitely possible. Here comes the Whispering Woods into Soul of the Forest, which was to be expected. So not the time to do any equality stuff yet. There are quite a few taunt minions on his way at the moment. Death Grip can be useful with the Pyromancer later on. So I don't think I want to Death Grip yet. I think what I want to do is play Serenite Chain Gang here. He will need to use a fair bit of resources to push through this. I don't want to use the other Serenite Chain Gang yet. But I can use the Crystal Smith. And these minions are going to hit him in the face. He can't kill me through 5 taunts from 24. Even if he has all the... Right, I don't think he can. Does he have lethal? Did I miscount this? Is there a way for him to kill me through 5 taunts? Because I really thought there was not. Can I get the hit on this one? That's a 50-50 roll. Nah, I missed that hit. And his problem here is that he doesn't get any board space, so he can't develop taunts. And I have a dino size in my hand. So, if anything that I have lives... Oh. But he gets another 12 armor. That is inconvenient. That means that I will be forced. He's at 21. Yeah, 21 I cannot kill with Dino Size anymore. He still has 1 Soul of the Forest left. He still has another Chain Gang, another Whispering Woods. Annoying. I'm forced to do a Pyro equality play here. Which means the Pyromancer will die. So then I can do things like this. And I can get a couple of new 6/5 Serenite Chain Gangs on the board. And maybe with these I can kill him next turn. Let's say he goes for a Spreading Plague play. I have an Avenging Wrath available still. Goes for another Ultimate Infestation. I didn't expect that. I have to say that I did not expect that to happen. 10, 16, 17, 21 damage. I don't have enough damage to kill him here. But I probably can do it next turn with the Equality Avenging Wrath play. So I suppose this will be fine. But he has 1 more Branching Paths left. He can get another 12 armor. That's pretty annoying. But if he has to do Branching Paths, he will be hard pressed to do many other things. So I can roll the minion too. Right now this is acceptable. Too bad I didn't have any minions in hand. That was of course slightly sad. Spreading Plague is not that great when I have Equality in hand. Yeah, this is not going to save you. Then we do the quality. And we do the Avenging Wrath. I guess I didn't even need to do the Avenging Wrath, but it's one way to kill him. And then we take down the Token Druid. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.